Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today. This is Jake over here at IAMS. We got Tim with me, and also over at Planswell, Andy and Sabrina are going to be talking about Planswell. But first, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. We're going to go through a couple of slides of us here at IAMS. We have some important information to share about who we are here at IAMS and a quick highlight of our agents that love working with our team. We will follow a few polls during this webinar, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them in the webinar questions, and we will make sure that they are answered for you today. The first thing I want to highlight today is our commitment to delivering best-in-class customer service for our agents, and one way we do this is you can always reach a live person during our business hours at 800-255-5055. We strive to answer your phone call with a IAMS employee with 2 rings or less. So our new producer builders are for those of you who are new to us here at IAMS. These bonuses are available based on your production level in your first 180 days of contracting with us. We have great levels that you can qualify at, and as you can see, inside each level are some great options for you. We've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available. If you would like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to achieve that at the next level, please just give us a call. So another business builders program we provide for our agents is our referred producer program. I see a couple advisors on with us today that have already taken advantage of this program. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field in that one of the best leads we can ever obtain is through a referral from one of our valued producers. This is why we want to make it worth your while to refer a producer to us. That being said, when you refer a producer to us and they get contracted, we will cut you a $50 thank you check. Now, where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, you will receive an override on that business. Our ownership team, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, sign checks for thousands of dollars every quarter. With that benefit from doing business with our team, please type their information into the questions box, or you can just email me for that information. Below that is our marketing reimbursement program, which is the most popular program that we offer. For every $100,000 in fixed indexed annuity premium, you will get $100 in your marketing reimbursement account. This is why it is so popular and lucrative for our advisors, as we truly do consider this to be your money. You have the flexibility on what services, when, and who use these funds. So yeah, this is your marketing reimbursement. We don't tell you the vendors you have to use, or we do recommend vendors that we partner with and leverage reduced rates and preferred service. We also have our creative team to create a marketing strategy and provide in-house services. If you'd like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account or have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give your sales director a call. We would love to speak with you about that. So going into our back office support provided here at IAMS, this is another way that we add value to your business. This is the core of IAMS and how Charles Hearing founded us years ago. We want to help the independent advisor work smarter, not harder. We are going to do that with our great business building tools and resources. Of course, advanced case design assistance, life, and annuity quotes is an area that we assist with. We're going to get you those illustrations that you request within 24 hours, and I'm going to be honest with you. In all reality, you're going to get it much quicker within the hour. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business teams. Mackenzie heads up is the annuity team, and Michelle heads up is on the life side. They have fantastic teams who work tirelessly to help you get commissioned quicker. We will scrub your applications, submit them on your behalf, do the administrative tracking, and get you updates on the cases as needed. We do this to ensure you get commissioned as quickly as possible. This is a service that we provide to our valued producers and how we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients while our team handles the back office support for you. So our website is a great tool for our producers to use, and another reason to work with IAMS. Once you are contracted, you're going to have full access to everything you see on this slide and so much more at IAMSinc.com. We call it our IAMS portal. If you haven't registered for the website, it is very simple to do so. When we are done with this call, you'll go ahead and create an account, and we'd love to see you on there. A lot of great resources are available to you, including illustration tools, online forums, product grids, and product news. Industry updates are out there for you too. So technology is where the industry is going, and Luma is our newest partnership to streamline the application process. Most of our carriers are now on Luma Firelight eApp platform, so you can go to one site to submit business. It is COVID friendly, and some carriers are going to eApp only for some of their product lines and will also offer extra comp for utilizing the eApp platform. Make sure you ask your sales director before you submit a paper app if you can learn more about doing eApp. We do have a full in-house creative team. We can help you help your practice, and a lot of items are turnkey and available for you. Many of our sales resources are white labeled, so we can simply impose your contact information and your business logos onto it. Speaking of your logos, agency solutions is our expertise for our team. If you haven't created a full customized brand for you and your agency, we can certainly help with that. This is going to assist you with your name recognition, which grows your natural market organically. And lastly, digital marketing solutions are a very popular topic around IAMS. We can help you with those websites, social media marketing, email marketing, and much more. The internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. Making sure that you are accessible and represented in those marketing lanes is beneficial to growing your business. Reach out to myself or one of our sales directors. Just give us a call when this webinar concludes to talk to them about how you can access IAMS Creative, and we can certainly go on that ball rolling for you. So now I'm going to hand the ball off over to Tim here at IAMS, and he's going to finish out the presentation here. Here you go, Tim.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are nice and warm. It's a blustery about 23 here in Topeka today with about 10 inches of snow still left out there. So with that being said, let's talk about those marketing foundations. One of the ways that we help create a plan for you is doing a complimentary marketing analysis. This helps give you and your business balance because we set a goal, we created a way to reach those goals, and then that third step is to modify the goal or modify the resources that we're putting in there as we're getting feedback from how those marketing plans are working for you. Now, we do this free of charge. A lot of other groups don't do it, or if they do this type of a service, it's going to be $200 or $250 to do this marketing program for you. Our goal is to help create a multi-vertical marketing wheel that's supported by numerous spokes to keep those highs high and minimize those lows. If you haven't created a marketing program for your agency in 2025, reach out to Jake, myself, or one of the other sales directors over here at IAMS when this webinar concludes, and let's get you on the schedule to get that going. As we are almost halfway through the first month of 2025, we've got to get these plans in place to hit those goals. Go ahead, Jake, with that next slide. We created IAMS Wealth over 6 years ago. What we've done is grow this division of IAMS very organically. We've helped numerous advisors become IARs and pass the Series 65 at a very successful clip. I personally have 3 advisors taking the Series 65 this quarter. Once we have you registered, we're going to bring great value to your practice with an incredibly competitive fee structure for both you and your clientele. You and them are going to get great technology and a great investment platform to utilize. This has been a major growth sector of our business, and assets under management could be a major growth sector for you as well. Next, we've got our life and annuity academies. Now, our first in-person is going to be in April, likely of this year. We're getting that all buttoned up, but we do have a great opportunity that you can join from the comforts of your office or home, wherever you're at that day. Wednesday, January 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have a virtual event with 4 great keynote speakers, as well as 30 additional hours of everything that is an annuity. So Jake, if you want to go ahead and launch that first poll, let's see if there's anybody who would like some information about that virtual academy or the in-person one. I'll give you a moment here to get that going. Awesome. So everybody out there, we've got a ton of people on the call right now. We'd love to hear, would you like to have some more information? Now, both of these events are going to be no cost to you, but that doesn't mean we spared any expense. Like I said, over 30 hours of information on this first one, plus 4 great keynote speakers, including Rocky Bleier, 4-time Super Bowl running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He happens to also be a financial author and motivational speaker. And more importantly, he's a Bronze Star and Purple Heart Award winner. All right, Jake, if you want to go ahead and close that, I think we'll move on to the next slide. All right, we do have qualification for Trek to Quebec plus another trip. As you can see on this slide, the qualifications in for this one on June 30th of 2025. So still about 5.5 months to qualify. Additionally, we have another trip to Dominican Republic. Now that qualification goes all the way through December. So after you qualify for June, then let's focus on that next one. If you want to know where you're at on production points, give one of your sales directors a call and we can let you know exactly where you are. Now, one quick thing on this, not only does that look like a fantastic place to go, it looks like a castle in my opinion, but we do it right. This is going to be a +1 trip, so you get to bring whoever was that naughty person on the Christmas list, you get to bring them with you, and we're going to cover everything, airfare, activities while you're there, and again, that stay at that beautiful Fairmont La Chateau, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last word there. Jake, next slide for me. Jake, you there?
Yes. Are you able to see those last slides on it?
Nope, I'm still on the Trek to Quebec.
I think we're having a
no worries. Let's do this here, Jake, because I was just the only last page there was just to follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Why don't you go ahead and give control of the webinar over there to Sabrina and Andy. Now, real quickly here, this is a great marketing campaign. We've been working with Planswell, and I've been working with these guys for over 2.5 years. And what I will tell you is they have really done some awesome things around being able to get you in front of clients that are looking to work with a financial advisor and solve those tough financial situations that we have right now. So they've got some great automation. They've got amazing training, onboarding tools and resources. Plus, if you do have any personal questions, I'm sure Andy and Sabrina would love to help get you rocking and rolling on there. So Sabrina, I can see your screen. With that, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Let's learn a little bit about Planswell and how they can get folks in front of annuity and life insurance clients.
I should unmute myself first, but I just wanted to pop on camera and introduce myself. So I'm one of the account managers. So if you do decide to move forward with Planswell, I'd be there to help you along the way. But I would love to maybe set up a time after this just to dive a little bit deeper about each individual person is at a different space in their business. And so usually I like to find out like where we can help you and how to make Planswell work for you, because it is totally based on like where you're at and what you're looking to do and what your goals are in your business. So I'm going to continue through here, and then I'll introduce my colleague Andy, who also built his practice utilizing Planswell. So he's a great resource once you're on the platform to be able to do a one-on-one with him or in our networking sessions that we have for our partnered advisors. So I'll continue here and come off screen. So with Planswell, through this call, we'll go through our prospecting method, the household journey, so how we get households in front of you in real time and exclusive to you, who you'll be speaking to, the Planswell partnership between IAMS and Planswell, what your ROI could look like on the type of clients that we're getting you in front of, how we'll get you there, and then of course I'll pass it over to Andy, and any questions and answers that anybody might have that come up, we can answer that at the end, as well as I'll have my my booking information for you to be able to take a picture, or you can screenshot or go to the QR code at the end to schedule a time. So the household journey, we find the prospective clients on all social media, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google. We do a really good job at getting in front of a lot of business owners. I see a lot of medical professionals coming through the funnel, real estate agents, etc. But we also use keyword searching. So if anybody's already looking into their retirement planning, investments, insurance, we'll bop them on the head with a targeted ad, and then they go through 30 to 40 financially intimate questions. And then they have to SMS validate their cell phone number at the end of it. So they enter their cell phone, receive a PIN code, and enter their PIN code to receive their plan. If they don't complete that step, we don't consider them a marketing household. And with that information, you can find a lot more information on people just by Googling the phone number. It could be linked to a business as well. You never know. So once that's completed, we'll receive, I call it like it's more of a percentage of where they're at. It's like, this is where you're at if you keep doing what you're doing. This is where you could be if you talk with a financial professional. So it's really non-actionable at the end of it when they complete it. It leaves room for questions to be answered by a financial professional, and we truly believe that it still takes that conversation. No do-it-yourselfer can go to Planswell and figure out their whole financial plan. From there, it would still take a conversation to have, and that's where you would reach out. So the process altogether for the consumer would take about 10-15 minutes to complete, and it's quite detailed on the type of questions that we have them go through. And I will have a QR code that you can test it out and complete one of the questionnaires. So they're instantly distributed to you after completion. You get email notified and text alert that a household is assigned to you, and you'll be able to review their current financial situation that they inputted, which is a great starting point. But the goal of that first call is really to understand why they went through Planswell, what's at the top of their mind when they think about their finances, finding that pain point, and then booking a consultation to dive deeper in the next meeting via Zoom, or if you can get them in person. A lot of people work remotely off Zoom, especially for that first call as a more introductory meeting. And again, each lead is exclusive to you. So even if you're busy in a meeting, you can catch them when you have time. Still, it's ideal to get in front of the household between the first 24 to 48 hours when they've just completed the plan, because it's top of mind for them. Who you'll be speaking to. So the demographics of our households, anywhere between 30 to 65 years old, majority are going to be above 48, is just what we're seeing come through. Our average household has around 425,000 in liquid investable assets. So this is outside of 401k. You'll still know what's in their 401k. We just don't include it towards our quoted averages. And then 200,000 income. And you'll get people below this, like a young family with insurance needs, could be like a young professional, high income, still growing their assets. But on the reverse end, we have our partners taking on multi-million-dollar clients all the time. So 85% have direct insurance needs, 82% own homes, 5% we consider hot prospects. So they go through the funnel and they have the ability to book a time, which is a pop-up there. But whether or not they click the pop-up to go through to schedule a time, they're still directly, you already have that information before they even get that pop-up where you're getting notified of the household. And then digital clients are generated based on zip. So we use your zip code kind of like a pinpoint on the map, and then we expand outward based off opportunity. So return on your investment. So most popular package is the 25 leads per month. Oh, sorry, here, 1 second. There. Prospects have an average of 425,000 in liquid investable assets. So if you're to take, this is based off your commission rates. This might not be completely accurate to you, but if you get a $250,000 annuity at 6%, it's about $15,000. I just had recently, one of my guys, he brought on an $800,000 annuity. So in the way you run your book of business, you can kind of do the commissions from there, but you shouldn't need many to break even with Planswell and start seeing your ROI, potentially even just one. So how we get you there? I think my computer might be slowly for each time I click. So you can learn from partners that are already doing well. We host weekly webinars on either requested topics or interviews with partners. They're led by Andy and our other coach, Amos. He ran a $2 billion book of business. And we also do networking groups where you can actually talk with other partners on the platform who are utilizing Planswell. You could be a fly on the wall, or you can pop in, learn from other people doing well, what's working, what's not working. It truly benefits your success with utilizing Planswell and getting your return on your investment in attending those. So you can, and then we have all our written training content. So we have the prospect conversion roadmap. It really just contextualizes the best ways to convert Planswell households. It's all archived within your dashboard once you're on the platform. And when you book a meeting, we can do a video call to show you the platform and what that looks like and everything we have to offer on there. So I'm gonna pass this over to Andy. So he previously in-house advisor who converted about 240 Planswell households into 300 clients. So he got referrals from those individuals as well in just over 4 years. He's featured in almost all of our webinars, not many, but and he hosts the live shows that you can register on a weekly basis. So Andy, I'm going to pass it over to you and you can take it from here.
All right. Well, fortunately, I'm having an okay hair day today. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much, Sabrina. And Sabrina's kind of going to have I'm going to talk about the referral tool, which is in addition to all the other things, which gives you an ability to tap into your own warm and natural markets, old leads, seminar attendees, friends, family, orphan clients, who knows what, that you can now send to go through that questionnaire, and they will now show up in your dashboard, and that does not count as one of your prescribed marketing leads that is part of your package. So you do get a unique URL and a QR code that sends people to the questionnaire, which I think the next slide, Sabrina is going to give an example. This is her, so you can go ahead and scan that with your phone and see what that client experience is like. Don't worry, you're not going to become a lead. You will end up just showing up in Sabrina's dashboard, and that might be a great way to a great thing to talk about and look at if you have a conversation with Sabrina, which I hope you do. So really, where I come in is having converted hundreds of people myself. I've made tons of mistakes. I also learned a lot, and sometimes doing the wrong thing leads you to doing the right thing, and that's all about what the Planswell community is about, is sharing that information so you don't have to start from scratch, or you can correct things. Oftentimes we talk to veteran advisors and say, you know what, Andy, this was a good reminder of what I used to do when I started out to build my practice. And really, this is talking about how to approach the calls, because this is a nuanced approach. So that first one there is really about being permission based. That helps keep sales friction and sales resistance at a minimum, or eliminates or disarms it altogether. And many people make this mistake where they just dive in guns a-blazing, and that just turns a prospect on to where you don't even get an opportunity. The next one is really just being, sincere and genuine, and being curious, and not getting into pitching and providing a solution before you even know what somebody's problem is. But in addition to that, which is the next thing, is you've got to be coming from a place where you're confident so that you can be assertive and instill that sense of security and safeness with a prospect, right? So to recap those things, it's kind of being, assertive and confident, but permission based. And this really gets translated well with the last thing on your approach, is having the right tonality and pacing, which is something that we nurture and teach and highlight in the community and with all the training. And that's what I really think is special about Planswell, is it's not just, hey, here's a bunch of leads, good luck, and wash our hands of you. It's how do we guide you to make the most out of these opportunities, maybe correct things that you're doing that could be improved, or maybe that no one ever told you to do before. But a lot of this starts with the mindset, right? This helps to overcome that fear of anxiety of calling, that fear of rejection, and you're not going to help people that you don't call, right? And I think about all the people that I screwed up in when I first made a contact with, and all the people that I didn't end up making an impact and helping, right? But the big aha moment for me was to really have no attachment to the outcome. I'm not calling somebody to make them a client or sell them a product. And so what you have to do is, the next thing is, stop pushing your agenda. Nobody's interested yet, right? This isn't about what I want. I want to book a consultation. I want to do a deep dive of your plan. I want to book a time where we can talk about these things. That's your agenda, right? This is always about what you can do for somebody else. So your goal really here is to find out what somebody wants and needs, right? First, and how you might be able to serve them. And the only way you're going to do that is by having a conversation. And the only way you're going to get to a conversation is making somebody feel comfortable and not being sold to, right? And not talking above their head, like using buzzwords and industry jargon and making assumptions about what it is that they want. But understand that when you're calling a prospect, whether it's from Planswell or anywhere else, they're at a 10 when it comes to sales resistance, and you need to be prepared for that. Prepare for RBOs. This is going to happen, so expect it, because you're likely to get those on most calls. Well, what is an RBO? Well, here's the thing that I really want to get to, because it's most common thing that people think that an RBO, like I'm not interested, I was just playing around, or I don't have time, that's an objection. It is not an objection. Objections come when you're asking for them to do something in terms of like saying yes to your policy or becoming a client. RBOs are what happens at the beginning, and like I said, they should be expected. So a couple examples are, as I sort of said, not interested, I was just curious, I'm busy, I wasn't expecting a call, and what you're going to get is, hi Tom, this is Andy calling regarding click, right? We know this, we've all experienced it before. I'm no different, I experienced it big time. But putting that aside, what you have to ask yourself, because this is going to help guide you, and this is figuring out, what is your why? Why are you an IAMS advisor? Why are you an insurance advisor? What is the opportunity here? And number one, it's freedom, right? Why am I an agent? I want to have the freedom to determine my own destiny, to set the course for my own path. And what comes with that is flexibility. When you are a business owner, and you should be treating this like a business, it's the flexibility to work when you want, how you want, and with whom you want. And the next part of that is so exciting is its uncapped earning potential, right? You get out of it what you put into it. And lastly, it should be because you have a passion for helping people, right? Now, this next part, which is being a bit facetious here, but I do this to really hit a point here. I'm all about transparency and being blunt about things. You shouldn't consider Planswell if you're fine with your income staying the same and you don't want to earn more, right? You shouldn't consider Planswell if you're okay with throwing money at expensive and outdated methods. And we are in a time where things are moving quickly and you got to keep up or you're going to get left behind. You shouldn't consider Planswell if you enjoy wasting time manually searching for leads instead of automating the process. You shouldn't consider Planswell if you'd rather throw money at expensive marketing that gets you stale, shared leads instead of fresh, exclusive ones. And lastly, most importantly, if you are afraid to get out of your comfort zone and happy to stay where you are. The key to success is surrounding yourself with other successful people, right? And learning from other people and following what other people do. That successful people tend to hang around people because they raise the level of their expectations of themselves. And the other part of success, and this is really, I want you to think about this, there is no secret to success. There is a system for success, and that system works if you work it, and that is exactly what Planswell is. It's the system for success and everything that goes along with how you can be among those other advisors that are and agents who are having a great amount of success, and you get to be part of that community. That's it for me, but I'm here if you have any questions. Back over to you, Sabrina. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Andy. So the partnership between IAMS and Planswell. So again, our most popular plan is the gold tier, which is 25 exclusive leads per month, and it's regular $11.98 per month. Any new plan has a $1.99 setup fee. So with our IAMS partnership, we offer a 20% up to a 20% discount. This is totally state specific because we do close states and areas when we reach a saturation point. So once you're locked in a state, you're guaranteed your seat and your exclusive households, the guaranteed numbers that you're paying for. And then you do have the ability, we're not a 6 to 12 month contract, we are a monthly contract. So you almost have control, you technically have control of your lead flow. You can upgrade, downgrade, pause, cancel at any time. We have other plans than this, so please schedule time with me to learn a little bit more on what we can offer you. So up to 20% off, and this is state specific, just because we do close states and areas when we reach a saturation point. And again, I'll be your account manager, so I help you set up your dashboard, show you what to lean into, our scripting. I have my own script. I also work with a financial professional. We were talking about resistant-based objections, and I had one individual who brushed me off originally, and I ended up following up with her again. She turns out she's a restaurant owner, and I think I called her while she was in the middle of service. So it was just bad timing on her part, but I got her on the call again, and she 2.7 million that we're working with, and I would have lost it if I just would have left her at that moment, just because I called her at the bad time, and I ended up going to lunch at her restaurant after. So it all works out. You just have to, you get what you put into the program. Really, it is truly what Andy said. So I'm gonna thank you to Tim and Jake here for setting this up. I'm gonna put my QR code up here. You can take a picture of this or scan the QR code with open up your camera and scan it, and this will take you directly to my my calendar. If you can't find a time that works for you, please take a picture of my contact information. I think we will be sending over an email for everybody that's attended or registered to be able to schedule a time with me that way. It's just, there's only a select few availabilities this week, and then I'll have more availabilities next week as well. So if you open up your phone and scan it, but at this time, if anybody has questions, we can answer, and I'll just leave this up here.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy and Sabrina. Really appreciate that. So everybody on here, here's one of the things that I always get when we talk about a marketing program. I've got questions and I want to talk to somebody who's actually used the program. We have Andy on here who has used the program. Let's get him some questions. Give him tough ones. I've seen a lot of ones. I've worked with Andy for almost 3 years now. I can guarantee you nothing is off of the table. So if you're on the fence, we've got dozens of people on the webinar right now. Let's spit out a couple of questions to them. So one thing that I just wanted to point out to everybody, I still talk to agents. In fact, I talked to one the other day who wanted a newspaper ad. Guys, I don't know if you realize, but in 1 month, Facebook will get 3.8 billion users actively using their program. Okay. Everybody out there is utilizing the mediums that Planswell is out there marketing to. And these folks are curious on, will I run out of money in retirement? Is there a big tax bomb in retirement? When do I turn on Social Security? If you feel like you could answer that question for a prospect, and we're going to give you 30 to 40 questions answered so you have information on them, then this is a great tool and resource for you. These is extremely valuable from a cost per lead standpoint. If you look out there right now with annuity and life insurance leads, the price point that Planswell and our negotiated contract that IAMS has done for you, trust me, this isn't like the off-the-shelf stuff. The 20% isn't given to everybody. These are some incredible opportunities here for you. So I really appreciate everybody. Sabrina, Andy, it looks like you guys have answered all the questions. So I will turn it back over to you. We'll send everybody out a recap of this, plus that link to book some time with Sabrina and Andy. But I will turn it over to you guys and see if you have any wrap-up comments here.
Well,
yeah,
I just
wanted to mention that I just opened up a little bit of more availability on Friday because I had to save some time for this, but I forgot to remove it. So I just opened it up. So if you scanned it and you didn't see any availability for Friday, I just opened it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sabrina, I can tell you, is awesome, and you definitely should be reaching out at least to find out what's going on. I would like to say this. I don't know if I'm off camera now or not, or you can still hear me. One thing I always
still hear you. I can still hear you. We're just launching a poll to see who wants some information on Planswell, but we can hear you loud and clear.
Yep, I got this last poll going.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
One of the things that I always say to prospective clients is not, do you have any questions? It's, what questions do you have? And when I see that there's no questions here, the only conclusion I can draw is, oh, you understood every single thing and how it applies to you, and absolutely this is something that you should do or not do. I know that's not true, right? There has to be questions out there. So what questions do you have? And if you don't want to share them now, that's fine, but likely other of your colleagues have the same questions. But at the very least, do yourself a favor and book a time with Sabrina. We have only touched the surface in terms of what's behind the scenes, and many partners say, you know what? Just the coaching and environment alone is worth the price of admission. So imagine that all of the resources, the scripts, the training, the webinars is worth that value. And then as a bonus, you get a minimum of, in this particular case with a goal of 25 opportunities, with exclusive opportunities to land clients. It's an incredible thing, and it's absolutely at least worth knowing more about. So if there are no questions, that's fine. I'm skeptical about that, but do yourself a favor.
I've got a couple questions here, Andy. You phrased it right, so I've got to learn the language of sales, not do you have any questions, but what questions do you have? So so I've got a couple questions here. Let's talk a little bit about, the question is, will Planswell help establish communication channel with the prospect, like notifying, hey, to expect a number, a call from this person's number? So I know they do that 30 to 35 question financial souvenir, or survey, not souvenir, but survey. What else, or what should an agent expect that's been communicated to that client on that follow-up from them?
I'm going to leave that for Sabrina to answer, and I can add to it after, but Sabrina's the go-to person here.
Yeah, I mean, when I make Andy utilizes Planswell, so do I. Tim, the last time we spoke, I wasn't, but I moved into more of a hands-on role. Um, so when I'm calling, nobody has their hand up ready for a financial professional to reach out because they might be going through Planswell because approaching a financial professional is really intimidating. They do have the ability to book a time, but even through that, for them to go through the 30 to 40 financially intimate questions, SMS validate their cell phone number, it would be ridiculous for them to think that somebody's not going to reach out to them. And we do have an email drip that will continue on them, and it's kind of geared to keep Planswell top of mind in their inbox. But when you're reaching out, you're just calling in regards to Planswell partners with local professionals in the area, and that's where you're there to help them. So I don't expect people to expect my call because then there's an expectation behind it and they're going to hear it in your voice. I hope that, Andy, can you elaborate on that a little bit,
Yeah,
or
for sure.
am I fumbling
So,
that?
no. So as Sabrina mentioned, there are systems in place that help support furthering getting a booking with what Planswell calls a household, not a lead, because oftentimes it is a household, right? It's a husband, wife, or a couple or whatever. So yeah, there are drips that happen, like a nurturing campaign that happens automatically. It's called circle automations, which will be an email from Planswell to the household saying, hey, based on what you answered, is this something you might want to know more about? Or it looks like, you got a score of 60. Does 99 sound better or whatever? I mean, you can see all of the drip campaign in the Advisor HQ once you become a partner. There are also other efforts. Once you have been a partner for a couple of months, we have a team that will work some of your households, but it's kind of a pool, and it's not a lottery system, but you shouldn't rest on Planswell booking these meetings for you. But Planswell does try to assist and support that success for those advisors that are committed. And I'm talking about the people that are hanging in there beyond a 1 month and expecting instant results, right? That can happen, right? We hear all the time that people do land clients as quickly as in the first month or something, but that should not be the expectation, right? You got to go slow to go fast in a lot, pretty much any success, right? But Planswell does do whatever it can to do that. There are other things that are being tested and beta tested with very promising results, which I'm not going to tell you what those are. You need to speak to Sabrina to find out what those things are, but it is the future, and it's very exciting. I've tested it myself, but it is AI related. I'll leave it at that. In addition to that, a lot of the scripts and things that we talk about in these various webinars and PlanCraft, which I cannot tell you how valuable that is, because you're hearing what other people are doing and you get to latch onto that and try it yourself without even having to come up with the idea. And that can further your success and the avenues at which you might not have thought of to get clients booked. Right, so there is a lot of support with helping getting that booked meeting, and I wish that somebody going through this process was purely logic based, because in my opinion, if you had enough inclination to stop and fill out this questionnaire because you have some curiosity about your future or fear or desire, that after you filled out this questionnaire, verified your phone number, your cell phone number, and provided your email address, that the next logical step would be say yes to booking a 5-minute chat with a trusted professional that Planswell's introducing you to. From a logic standpoint, you would think 100% of people would do it, but it's not about logic, as we've come to learn, and sales really isn't about logic initially, it's about emotions, right? And so people are freaky about, and very closed about financial things. They'll more likely open up about personal issues or work issues or things like that than they will be in terms of talking about money. So it's recognizing that. And that's why we kind of train towards, when you do reach out, whatever means that is, calling, emails, whatever, that you're tapping into the emotional part. People make decisions based on emotion and back it up with logic. So I know I went off on a tangent there, which is my MO, but hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Andy. We actually have 3 more questions here. So again, that language of sales. So real quickly here, I want to share a couple of things here. Agents. For me to get a new agent, the frequency is between 7 to 9 times that I reach out to you. Agents on the phone right now, do you think, like most of you are similar ages to those people that you work with? So if you're expecting a one and done, but it takes me 7 to 9 times to reach out to you, we have to put realistic expectations on what that path to purchase is, right? The question, will I run out of money in retirement? Do I have enough life insurance? Do I have a big tax bomb? When is the right time to turn on Social Security for me? Those are the questions that these folks are asking. And then they're filling out a 30 to 35 question flyer, and you're getting that. So you have to understand there's going to be some frequency to what you do to reach out to these clients. You're going to have to reach out to them multiple times, just like Jake and myself have to reach out to you. So with that being said, I wanted to talk a little bit about frequency here, just so people understand that path to purchase can be anywhere between 0 to 9 months. So if you've got somebody who, those 4 questions that I put out there at the beginning, I might have a big tax bomb. It's going to take them anywhere between 0 to 9 months. So it's good. It's a very valuable thing to note or to point out here, that when you reach out to these folks, you might have to nurture them for a couple of months to turn them into a client. And that leads me to the next question, which was, what should I expect to accomplish with 25 leads? I remember from Sabrina's early slide that we're going to have 5% hot and about 95% warm. And so if you just take 5% off at 25, you're at 1.25, right? And that's going to continue to grow as your frequency of connects with these prospects increases, right? So once you get to that 7-8 time frame, now that they've identified that there's a problem that you can help solve for them, that's where you're going to see those increased production, because now they've seen your message multiple times. So initially, if you get 25, and Sabrina, Andy, I'll give you here a moment, but we're expecting 1 to 2 of those to be really hot. They're ready to meet with you. And then we're expecting a good portion of those for you to plug into your nurturing system. And if you don't have one, we certainly have several options here at IAMS, and Planswell has options of, putting them into their CRM as well. But that's a way to where you can see after a few months, instead of just 1 a month, now you're getting a couple, but it's because you're continuing to reach out to them. You're continuing to offer that help to answer the question that they had. So I will pause there and see what additional input Andy and Sabrina have.
Yeah, I can elaborate on this. So one of my guys that I work closely with, he 25 leads per month. He now does 50, but his first 2 months. So his first month he did 25 leads. He had 11 great conversations, booked 7 meetings for himself, closed three people from his first month alone. He was at a more captive place, so his commissions were a little bit less, but his first 2 months he did about 47,000 from his utilizing Planswell. The biggest factor though, he leaned into our best practices. He triple dialed every single person. He set call blocks for himself as well too, so he was not letting opportunity go to waste. The last 2 months he did about 16,000. But he's now in Italy just chilling, so I'm jealous. But he really is, we have a partner interview with him. Once you're on the dashboard, you can watch it. He's a great individual. Sometimes he's in the Plancraft groups as well too. Another individual is George Bigger. He does a ton of insurance, but July and August of last year were both about $60,000 months. And he mentioned that those were people that he had nurtured for a while. So sometimes it's pipeline building as well. Some people might be ready to go right away, want to work with you, but others you might have to nurture a little bit more. So as long as you're keeping working them, and you're following up with them, you're going to be the most I guess when it comes to shove, then you're going to be the most I guess the person they're going to go to, because you're always there.
Yeah, the thing I'll add on to there is this, and it's something we preach over and over again, and I'm sure Tim, Jake, you say the same thing. This is about consistent and persistent activities. If you are doing the right things at the right frequency, it's virtually impossible to not have success, right? And for some people, that may come immediately. Others, it may come down the road. You know, Sabrina had, you know, a guy who really wasn't, you know, didn't see a lot in the first couple of months, and then he just said, okay, that's it. I'm going to be all in, committed. And he started showing up to PlanCraft. He started asking for help. He was watching some of the other partner interviews, which all had a common theme of just follow the process. Don't overthink things. Just do the things that successful people do in this. And boom, shortly after that, landed his biggest client of his career. And I'm talking about multi-millions. You know, I think in a span of a month, correct me if I'm wrong, Sabrina, I think he made commissions of about $150,000. And I asked him this on the interview. He's one of the people we interviewed. I said, what is your cost of inaction? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, if you had given up Planswell or hadn't even tried it, what would your cost of inaction be? And he said, well, I guess $150,000. Meaning, if he hadn't stuck with it, if he hadn't leaned in and followed that process, he at the end of the year would have had $150,000 less in his life. So you need to ask yourself that question. And that's really what you have to be considering here is the machinery has been built, the process is there. And to harken back to my last slide in my portion was, there is no secret to success. There is a system for success. And if you follow that system, you will be successful. It's that simple. Not easy, but it's that simple.
So next question is appears that you're focused on financial planning. I'm more interested in life insurance leads. I don't really look at Planswell as more focused on financial planning. I think it's a pretty wide net for financial planning, annuities, and life insurance. Do you guys agree with my assessment, or do you think it's more towards the life insurance?
Andy, you go. That's your field.
Absolutely. Well, listen, life insurance is an essential part of any complete financial plan, right? If you can help somebody with that aspect of it, then you're still adding value, aren't you? You're still taking care of one aspect of the planning that you can. And my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, that even if somebody is only focused on insurance right now, that they have a referral source within the IAMS umbrella to satisfy that person as well. But forget that for a second, right? There is plenty of need on the insurance side of things, right? It is one of the major pillars of a financial plan. And quite frankly, one of the things that's most in need of attention. Either people are underinsured, in some cases they're overinsured, or they're in terrible products that are actually not the thing that is actually going to address what they care about, especially when you're talking about annuities and things like that. And things change over time, you know, like I know for a lot of you, you probably would love, if Planswell could just send you all people that were 59 and a half, right, and had giant 401ks, well, holy smokes, you wouldn't even be thinking about booking a time with Sabrina. Well, some of those people are that, right? Some of those people will be that in 6 months, right? Some of those people are already in that phase and don't even know that they have an opportunity to take their winnings off the table or create their own secure retirement plan with an insurance product, right? So there's lots of opportunity there. For us up in Canada, I can do mortgages, insurance, and investments. Sometimes I do one because that's the only need. Sometimes I do all three. It really depends, but you need to have that opportunity first, dive into what people want, and sometimes you can create that opportunity, right? Insurance products are not just about insurance anymore, right? They can be growth vehicles and growth devices. Now, Tim,
Perfect.
please correct me if anything I said was incorrect about IAMS.
Nope, you hit the nail on the head. We have our own RIA. So if you're not currently licensed, but you want to get those funds over to a group, that as soon as you send us over those transfer paperwork, you know we're going to act on it immediately, we can do that. If you're looking to get your Series 65, we have a new advisor onboarding program to where we'll actually back pay you 50% of the fees that you would have gotten as you onboard and get that Series 65. And then if you're already licensed, we make that transition process extremely easy. So all three options: you can refer us business, you can refer business for you to take over, or you can move that business right over. So a couple more questions here. I know we're getting long on the time, but again, I do want to get these questions answered. So I've only been selling Medicare. I do not have a financial planner's license. Do I need to have my Series 65? And I will take that one here real quick. You do not need to have a Series 65 or 6 or 3. These are all clients that if you have a life insurance license, you'd be able to offer them solutions. And then we just talked about that partnership with our RIA if you do run into folks that have those scenarios. So last question here for the Planswell team, and then we'll sign off here. Are these interviews in person or virtual or both?
Both. Majority of people start with a Zoom call, like when they're booking into a consultation. I'm assuming that's the question. The first step is making a call.
Yeah, so really with this one, guys, is the first appointment's going to be virtual, and I don't know if we talked about it in detail, but you have the ability to meet with prospects in any state that you're licensed in. So if you're in Texas, but you also occasionally work in Oklahoma and Louisiana, well, maybe one of those states is a 20% off state. You can capitalize on that discount and work with other clients. I don't believe that Planswell has any rules or guidelines on if you meet with that person, in person down the road. But in general, most of the first appointments, I would say 99% of them are going to be virtual. And then after that, it really depends on your sales process. And I'll leave it over to Andy and Sabrina to add anything if I mess that up.
Yeah, to be clear, once a household has been assigned to you, that they're yours. How you conduct, like what your process is, whether you meet them in person or do a Zoom meeting or meeting or webinar or whatever it is, it's at your discretion. The only thing Planswell really asks is act in the client's best interest and don't be a pushy jerk, right? Like, because Planswell's reputation is in the mix there, right? And you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But to be very clear, this is where I think a lot of agents and advisors overthink things, right? Planswell is a center of influence. It's a connector, right? And sparking the conversation and then handing it off to you to take it from there and showing you what that conversation should look like or how to get that conversation. But what you do with that person, what business you do with them, how you help them, as long as it's above board, that's your business.
Perfect. Sabrina, any last comments you wanted to add here before we sign off? And there were a couple questions that we didn't get to. Guys, we just ran out of time here. So for those agents that asked a couple other questions, guess what? Jake and I will be calling you real soon. We're going to get those questions answered. But Sabrina, any last thoughts?
No, I think the best bet would just be to schedule a time, and then we can dive deeper and show you the platform that way. Because I'm sure there'll be more questions that pop up after the webinar.
Awesome.
Yeah,
well,
I'm just going to echo that. Book a time with Sabrina. She is literally the best person on the inside that you could be talking to. And I'm not just saying that because we're on here. I've been working with Sabrina for years. Do yourself a favor, at the very least, find out more and find out how this could pertain to you and how this could get you to where you want to go. really, like, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Absolutely. I would love to piggyback on that. It's the start of the year. If you want to have the best year ever, I sincerely think that Planswell would be a great option for you to take a look at. You've got Sabrina's QR code right there. We do appreciate everybody's time and participation today. On behalf of Planswell and IAMS, have a great day. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.